This is the Mad Dragons Podcast. Well, g'day Dragons fans, and welcome to the Mad Dragons Podcast. I hate to be the one to tell you all, but our Premiership dreams have been dashed. On Thursday night, our Premiership hopes were well and truly alive until the 76th minute, when Britain Nakora crashes over and the Sharks hit 50. I really hate this part of the job, but it's my responsibility to let you all know, as a public service announcement and an exclusive to the Mad Dragons podcast, the Dragons can no longer win the Premiership in 2023. I can't.
There ain't nothing but heroes and villains, more villains than heroes. What can you tell? What from the next? Can you go down from zero? There ain't nothing but heroes and villains, more villains than heroes. All lined up from the east to the west, black and moon or an infinite shift.
Yeah, welcome to Heroes and Villains Sharks Edition. Another local derby, another reminder of how far we are from being a top 8 side. 14 points down with 27 minutes to go before the introduction of Moses Mbias or a further 22 points conceded. A performance like that makes choosing a hero harder than getting Taylor Swift tickets. Now, the guy that I've gone for this week is one of two who can hold their head high and say they put in 100% effort. A hard-running forward, an absolute tackling machine, and for mine, the best choice for captain. Jack de Belin, a Dragon through and through, as passionate a Dragon as you'll see, gets the Hero Award this week. Special mention to the West Tigers, who, in getting absolutely lapped by the Cowboys 74-0, showed us that things could indeed be worse, and allowed us to climb off the bottom of the ladder, well, for the next week at least. Choosing a villain or villains, however, was easier than choosing who our better winger is, to be perfectly honest. Our left edge is defensively impotent, with over 30 tries conceded down that side so far this year, with Matt Feeney being the main culprit in constantly coming up out of the line and missing tackles, leaving the opposition winger completely unmarked. Now, under normal circumstances, this alone would probably be enough for him to get the big raspberry from me this week. However, there's a much more deserving recipient in the form of halfback and captain, Ben Hunt. Putting aside the disharmony caused by his recent conduct off the field, his on-field exploits the last 2 weeks have been such that I, for one, wouldn't mind if he spent the rest of the season on the Gold Coast. Looking decidedly uninterested, his kicking has been absolutely bloody atrocious, including a failure to find touch off a penalty, which is an absolute cardinal sin, and midfield bombs, which have posed absolutely no threat to even the most pedestrian of backs. This is a player who clearly no longer cares, and all parties would best be served by him taking no further part in the Dragons 2023 season. Let's sell him for whatever we can get and move on. Ben Hunt, you are the weakest link and the villain for round 18. Back to you, Donnie, in the central missionary position.
Well, thanks, mate. It was not exactly the target I thought you had lined up, but no, it was you've spoken well, as you always do, Hasman. I don't necessarily agree with everything you've said, but yeah, I think you've hit the nail on the head with a lot of people who have really got the shits with Ben Hunt, and unfortunately we don't have Rob Segurna on, because I think he would have been standing and applauding at the end of that, because he's had an absolute gut full of Benny Hunt. But yeah, I'm sure you echo the
Excuse
sentiments of
me.
all the fans. Yes,
Oh,
Chloe.
Okay, I just need a bit of I agree with everybody about this whole Ben Hunt thing. Now, I'm just sick to death of it because yes, he's our captain. Yes, I just think he needs to. When we're unhappy in our workplace, what do we do? Do we go to the boss? Do we go, hey, boss, I'm over this shit? And with him, the way he's treating us right now is disrespectful. I don't want him to be my captain. I agree with you, Hasman. Jack DeBellin should be our captain because he actually said on Thursday night after whatever it was, he said it was embarrassing and he was honest. Ben Hunt is quiet as a sheep. He needs to man up and don't go to Brisbane the day after we get a flogging. Stay here and actually talk to your teammates. Talk about it.
Well, that was work why he went to Brisbane. Like he went to Brisbane, the NRL had a promo that he was filming, so he was always going to Brisbane. So
I was just angry. I was getting my frustrations out because of
It was just bad timing.
Yes, bad timing. Yeah. Oh, like he's checked out, and I just think New South Wales Cup is there. Let him go there. Most expensive player in the world. See you later.
No way. No way. We don't want him fucking up the New South Wales Cup side as well.
Just bench him there.
Personally, I don't think Ben Hunt was. I don't think he was even close to our worst. I think he was. No. He was pretty close to the 3-2-1s. He was awful, but so was everyone else. I think everyone just. I don't know. They want Ben Hunt to be the worst player on the field because they're sick of his shit. But
now if he doesn't,
he had more run meters than some of our fucking forwards. Like
if he doesn't win Dally of the Year, he didn't try hard enough for us this year, I reckon.
Yeah, I just think there's a few other targets that I would have been throwing the spear at myself.
Yeah.
But has man's call. He's gone with Benny Hunt for this week, and I think he'll be in the sights for the rest of the season if we keep getting beat. Okay, so moving into the Mad Dragons Vodcast Player of the Year voting, and no surprise that Hasman's hero is up near the top of the list when it came to the votes from the panel. It was almost unanimous, really, in terms of who was the Dragons' best in this particular game. But I'll go to Muzz on why you thought Jack DeBellin was our best.
Hey, g'day guys. How are you tonight? Commiserations to the whole club for the performance on Thursday night. But unfortunately, like the Dragons at the moment, we know what we're going to get every week. But fortunately, with Jack, we know what we're going to get from him too. It was still hard to pick a 3 points. I don't think it was a standout. I think he still lacks that running game that showed a bit of it last week, but went back to I think only sort of 9 or 10 runs again. But just that rock in defence and just that the team player that everyone's sort of talking about that we need. Whether he replaces Hunt as captain, I think most people agree that probably should happen. But you just know what you're going to get with him. Unfortunately, it's he just doesn't get a lot of help around him. But again, a hard choice picking the 3-2-1. I think it was probably harder picking the 2 and the 1. But if he's going to do the same next week, he's going to do the same for the rest of the year. So and like you said before, I think even if Ben Hunt did play a half decent game, I don't think anybody's going to give any points anyway, just because we're all hung up on what he's doing. But Jack for me.
Yeah, I definitely don't think Ben Hunt was in the 3-2-1s, but I think there was a lot of players that were worse than Ben Hunt. But Jack DeBellin, again, I totally agree with you, Muzz. It wasn't a standout performance. It's not often a guy that plays lock, plays 80 minutes at lock, runs for 80 odd meters is going to be considered the best on the ground. That'd almost generally it'd be cause for concern, but we're going that bad that a guy that's doing that because he makes all his tackles, makes 56 tackles, 1 miss. That's enough really for us to say, well, at least he's out there having a crack. He's out there trying, working his backside off on the other side of the ball and doing all the right things defensively. So that's enough to get the 3 points at the end of the day. And I think it's pretty sad that that's enough to get the 3 points, to be honest. But I think he does deserve it on this particular occasion. Second best was also just about unanimous. Almost everyone had the 2 points for this bloke. Tyrell Sloan. Chloe, you had him with the 2 as well. What did you like about Sloan's game?
I thought he improved in this game. The way he put his body on the line, his defense, his meters were he had 178 most run meters. The one try that he did, which was great, was just I was like, just hurry up and score it. I think he's improving. It was really good to see the way he was playing as well. So yeah, I was really impressed with him.
Yeah, no, I thought it was a solid performance from Sloan. There was again, you're going to get that sort of rocks and diamonds from Tyrell, and I think we're going to have to get used to that. And there were certainly a couple of nuggets out there that weren't exactly gold from Sloaney, but there was also some fantastic things that he did. That try you mentioned, and we'll talk about that a little bit more later on. But one of the absolute tries of the season, and just a sensational individual effort. But I thought some great efforts defensively as well. He came up with a couple of tackles right on the line, 1-on-1, and of course that mad try saver as well that he made. So it was a really good performance from Sloan. There were still some things that weren't so good, which is why he didn't get the 3. I would assume from most people, but overall a pretty solid effort, and provided the few bright spots I think in this game came from Tyrell Sloan. Okay, so while the 3 and the 2 were almost universal across the panel, the 1 vote, just about everyone was different, but finishing with the 3rd most votes. He's a bloke that we will be talking about a little bit later on. But Big T, you had Zach Lomax as our 2nd best, so you obviously felt he was okay in a bad bunch.
He went all right, didn't make a mistake. Look, 2 and 1 could have gone to anybody. I think I gave 1 to Sloan. I can't remember now, it was that long ago. But yeah, no, Zachy had a good game, I thought. Tackled well, kept them what he could do, I don't believe the game though. Only one of our forwards ran for over 100 metres. That was absolutely terrible. That's disgusting, and that was only 100 metres.
That's just made it. Second week in a row, same bloke. Yeah, both weeks.
Cracking that 100. It's forwards should be running 140, 150. All the forwards.
Yeah, that 100 metre mark. That's the bare minimum of expectations.
Exactly right. And then I could have gave it to Rava, because Rava went fairly well as well. I could have gave the 1 point I gave the 1 point to Sloan in the end. Disgusting. I couldn't have gave it to Ben Murdoch Priscilla. Oh my fucking God, 5 run 39 metres. My God, boy, what are you doing? I hope your wife's better than you.
She's probably better than him at a lot of things. So John Masterton's just put in the comments. I didn't actually see this, but he said there was 1 set there where Lomax made every tackle in the set of 6.
I thought he done well. I gave him the 2 and Sloan the 1. So yeah, but it was the 3 was definitely Jack de Belin, no doubt about it. The 2 and the 1 came out of a hat.
Yeah.
So there's not much more I can say about that one. I thought he was our 2nd best, and I gave him the 2 points.
Yeah, I think there was definitely some, a wide array of different people that got the 1s, and you're right. I was the same. I couldn't find a 1 at all, so I just plucked Toby Couchman out because I like him.
Because you like him.
That's about it. That's about the end.
If Billy Burns had been playing, he would have got it.
Well, who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Anyway, let's just forget about this week and move on.
Well, we got a bit more to go through, but as always, a bit of an advertisement for the Mad Dragons podcast. There are a lot of ways that you can support us. Choose the one that suits you best. You can become a member of the show, which gets you some merchandise, among other member benefits. You get first access to some of the content we put out before it goes to any other social media platforms. So you can go to patreon.com/the Mad Dragons podcast to get involved that way. Or you can go through to Etsy and go onto the Etsy store, search the Mad Dragons podcast, and there you can find all our merchandise like Jesse's got on. You've got to talk so they can see you, mate.
Yeah, I've just got the hoodie on, nice and warm, and great for this time of year as well. So yeah, nice and warm, keeps you snug, and go get some merchandise off the website. Very, very nice and warm. And I've got the shirt on underneath as well. So shirts are quite good.
Absolutely. Righto. Well, we'll move now into some moments of the match, and we'll stay with you, Jesse. We'll kid it out in the Mad Dragons vodcast gear, but the Dragons probably looked the better team in probably the opening 15 to 20 minutes. What was it that the Dragons were doing well early in this game?
I thought it was their physicality, as the commentators touched on as well during the start of that game. I was actually surprised, like, we scored first, like when Rava went over in the corner very early in the game. I thought, yeah, our physicality as well. We really dominated Cronulla and really got up in their face and didn't let them run, and that was really good signs. And then I don't know what happened after that. We sort of fell away, and then when Nico Hines strolled over, all our good work went undone. But yeah, the physicality was what I thought that got us off on the front foot early in the game, and yeah, we looked the better side to start the game. Certainly
early, I thought they played really direct, and they played through the middle. They just did, it was simple. And I kind of felt that the Sharks got wind of that. We kept trying to do the same thing, but all of a sudden, when you're playing simple, straight down the middle, they get line speed, they get up in your face, and they take that advantage away, and they really turned the game completely physically the longer it went. So it was one of those. Bit of a congratulations to Hasman on the internal chat, because he's finally been able to get Jackson Ford's head onto his green screen. So he's a computer genius, the Hasman.
But Jackson Ford's not with us anymore.
He knows that.
You
He
have to
doesn't care.
change it to a Warriors jumper.
I'm well aware of that, and I give precisely 0 fucks.
Is this a claim to try and get him back in the red V?
It's part of the initiative, yeah.
All right, now Hasman, a bit of chat last week about Tyrell Sloan's defense, but came up with a dead set drive-saving tackle on Ronaldo Muatalo at 6-all in this game, and had another couple of tackles that prevented certain tries. Did you think there was more effort from him defensively this week compared to last?
I think the stats bear that out perfectly well themselves. If you have a look at his stats for last week, he had 3 tackles made, 3 missed, and 1 ineffective. Now, this week, he had 13 tackles and missed 3. So he's basically doubled his efficiency in the space of a week. He can be a bit sort of rocks and diamonds defensively, but no, I thought it was very much improved from him, and I can't wait to see him keep going.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. I think I think there were some great efforts from him in defence. There were some other times where he again you sort of see him there and you think, well, he could have got a little bit closer and at least made an attempt. And that he does frustrate people in those instances. At a couple of times, I thought I think it was the Sharks' last try where it was like, where was Tyrell Sloan? He seemed to be well out of position for that one, and took a long time to get across there to try and stop it. And then again, just stuck a foot there, and it didn't really work for him. But it's not the easiest job in the world being a fullback, because you always seem to get this criticism in those one-on-one. Doesn't matter if it's 6-on-1 situations, it's still your fault if you don't make the tackle. So it's a tough gig, and I think he certainly increased his effort levels on previous weeks. And I don't think there doesn't seem to be as many that are calling for his head, but there's still a few that
try to do Buddy McFinay's job for himself as well.
Yeah, well, that's
he's defending for 2 people.
I don't know about 2 people, mate. I think there's 5 people on that left-hand side that he's defending for. But anyway, Muzza, we sort of talked about this already, but we track back to it. Ben Hunt has come in for a lot of criticism for his performance in this game, but he gave a perfect pass to Tyrell Sloan that created the overlap. and then a strong finish from Tau Moga to give the Dragons the lead 20 minutes in. Do you think the criticism for Hunt is warranted, or do you think fans are now death riding Hunt and seeing only the bad things he does?
Yeah, well, he gave the little offload to Sloan for his try too. I think it was him that was back there. But look, absolutely, anybody that's death riding him at the moment are just going to do it for the rest of the year, regardless of what he does for the club, what he does for the team. And I can understand that, but you know, I think, and as you know, I haven't been one that's been death riding him. I sort of refuse to get into that sort of the banter or whatever you call with it. But look, his performances have been down, absolutely, over the last, for what he showed the last sort of 18 months. And I think the criticism is probably warranted in that way. But and you know, has it got anything to do with what's going on in the background? Everyone's going to say, yeah, it does. But look, we don't know. Nobody really knows what's going on inside their head. You know, they came out with a story that he went to Brisbane straight after the game, and even though it's came out exactly what happened and where he went, people are still death riding him, and just, you know, they won't listen to truth. They just want to believe what the bullshit media bring up all the time. And it's, you know, I just don't think it's healthy as Dragon supporters to have a captain that we're just death riding every fucking week. You know, yeah, some of the things he's done the wrong way, but I said before, as long as he's got a Dragons jersey on, I'm supporting him.
Yeah, and I think I don't like the idea that he's still got the C next to his name, but yeah, I'm a bit the same way. So long as he's still wearing a Dragons jersey, I'm still cheering his name and hoping that he can create good things for us and do good things for us. So I'm still cheering him on, but I don't think he's got the captain's jersey.
No, and I think that's as much on him as the club to stand up and go, look, you know, I know what sort of drama it's caused. And even for himself, to step away from captaincy, concentrate on his game. You know, I know there's clubs that'll have him, but you know, if he just plays like that for the rest of the year, he's at the end of his career. Maybe they'll start, you know, second thoughts about whether to spend that money on him. You know, so he's got to get back to the top of his game. It's probably better for him and the club if, you know, he actually stands up and says, look, give the captaincy to, you know, Blocker or Jay, you know, Jack or whoever. But I think that's on him as well.
I can't see him getting back to the top of his game. Not wearing the red V this year or next year, the year after. I think he's already said he wants to go, and he can tell the club as much as he wants that, oh, I'm going to do my best. I'm going to be the best for the club. It's in his head, man. He wants to go.
Yeah, but while he's here, don't we want him to be playing good?
We do want him to play good, but he's going to play good.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Job.
I don't know, mate. Like Hasman, a lot of the things that he brought up in Heroes and Villains that he did poorly on the weekend, the same shit we've been saying about him for 2 years, 3 years.
These last 2 games have been his worst 2 games for the club, I reckon.
No, I don't. I don't think he was anywhere near that bad on the weekend.
Anyway, he's done a few bad kicks.
Mid-season bomb, like midfield bombs. He's been doing, like, that's the only kick he's ever done for the Dragons. He's never kicked any other kick in his entire time at the club. He had one where he kicked right down into a corner and chased through and made a great tackle. And it's like,
yeah, one kick the other day when he kicked into the referee.
Kicked a few 40-20s.
That was a missed kick. That was totally a missed kick.
Yeah.
It wasn't supposed to go where that went.
Well,
I mean,
he got another go at it, which I thought was strange because that rule must have changed.
Yeah, must have.
Because it used to be.
I thought it was
it used to be a scrum with the feed to the attacking team. So territorially attacking, we should have a scrum feed and another set of 6. But they've obviously changed that rule. I would imagine the referees got that one right, but they must have changed that one fairly recently.
Well, it's Grant Atkins, so you never know.
Well, yeah. No, I think at that level, they're generally pretty good in terms of knowing what the rules are. They just, they just interpret them strangely and see things that other people don't. They're on acid, a lot of them. Jesse, did you have something to add there, mate?
I was just saying, like, he doesn't have his mind on the job. When you're thinking about other things, your mind's not there and you're not going to perform. His mind's not on the job. I think they've still got to sit down and talk to him, like have a good talk once the season's over and see where he's at. I mean, you may have to look at your options, see what's out there, and maybe get a like for like replacement, because until this is resolved, I think he's going to keep dishing up these performances. He goes
Yeah.
into Origin camp this week. I don't know if that might be good for the team and for him as well to get out of the environment as well for a week.
What
And-
other
and-
like for like halfbacks going to want to come to us?
Well, Andrew
Absolutely
Johns,
zero.
We don't want a like for like halfback. We don't want a halfback. I
No,
don't
no, that's what-
understand
no,
why
that's what
anybody
I'm
wants a halfback.
We're saying like for like, and
I want
yeah.
Tina Fasumalawi.
that I saw that today because apparently
Yeah, we'll
with
talk about
Justin
that later.
Holbrook
Don't
being
jump
sacked.
ahead. Just six. That's about 2 hours away, mate. We'll get to that.
But Andrew Johns actually suggested through the
every
week. Andrew Johns suggested through the week from St Helens come out here and won when they won the World Club Challenge against Penrith back in February. The halfback there, Lewis Dodd. They reckon he's the best young halfback in the Super League, only 21, and they reckon he's going to be quite the player, and he would be a great move to come down here and play in the NRL.
Well, maybe, but there hasn't been too many backs or halves that have come from the English game and come down to the NRL and actually succeeded. They usually
Well,
come
Dom
down.
Young has been the latest.
But Andy
Well,
Gregory.
Andy, that was how long ago was that, Muzzer? That's
Oh, 100
Dom
years.
Young.
50 years ago.
Well, Dom Young, we had Gareth Widdop.
Gareth Widdop.
Yeah, well, Widdop started as a fullback, but Lomax or whatever his name is, he came as exactly the same. Was supposed to be the best young half going around, and he came over. He played a couple of seasons here. He was absolutely hopeless. So just because he's
Oh,
a
you
good
mean
player,
Tompkins? Sam Tompkins
that's him.
played for the Warriors.
Yeah, that's him. That's the one I'm thinking of.
There is a Lomax that plays for St
Johnny
Helens, though.
Lomax, but he didn't
Yeah.
come to Australia. Yeah, no. But yeah, Sam Tompkins. He came down, played a couple of seasons here. He was hopeless. Did nothing.
Yeah.
So again, I think it's fraught with danger putting too much faith in some of these English players in the modern game. You go way back when, and there was plenty that used to come down to Australia and do well. But yeah, I don't think that we see too many outside backs that do it nowadays. Now it's usually the tough, hard-nosed forwards that tend to do pretty well. But yeah, the flashy outside backs tend to not have quite the bulk and physicality that's required to succeed at the NRL level. But
Well, look at Dom Young.
Yeah, Herbie
well,
Farnsworth.
yeah, Dom Young's a guy that's grown up in NRL systems, though. Like,
But
Yeah.
he was recruited from Huddersfield. Alex McKinnon saw him playing in the Super League, and yeah, he saw some talent in him, and yeah, he's
when did
Probably
he
the-
go,
one of
when
the
did he
best
go to
finishers in the
Newcastle
game.
though?
pardon.
When did he first come to Newcastle? When did he first come to Australia? It would have been 16,
he was 18.
17? Yeah.
I think he was
He was
17 or
only-
18.
He was only really young, and you can't comes over, gets that NRL coming through an NRL system is different to being, what's Dodd? He's 21, 22.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think if you get him at 17, 18 and bring him over, that's the same as getting a kid from the country and bringing him to the club at 16, 17, 18, and then you can actually build them up. But I'd have question marks on Dodd.
2021, Dom Young came over.
There you go.
There
2
is
years
talent
of-
over there.
2
no
years for
doubt about that
Huddersfield,
in
played
England.
2 games. Sorry,
So,
he played 2 years for Huddersfield. He played 2 games.
all right.
There you go.
How's he going this year though? Like I don't watch a lot of the English game, to be honest. I've watched him in the World Club Challenge. He looked solid, but I don't watch too much of the English Super League. So,
And he's not a halfback either. We're talking halfback, weren't we?
well, I thought he played halfback in the World Club Challenge.
Oh, did he? There you go.
We're talking about Lewis Dodd now, Muzz. Not.
Oh,
Young.
righty. Okay, righto.
Yeah.
I'm a
Right.
rag. Sorry.
All right, Chloe. There's obviously some big issues with our left side defence. Everyone's talking about it, but what is the issue? Is it one individual? Is it communication issue, or is it a coaching issue?
I was trying to reply to this. I got stuck when you sent this to me. So I think it's everything. I just think that I don't know. I was thinking maybe they switched back a bit. Remember when they did switch to the other side? They switched sides. Maybe I don't know. It's so hard because our team is like not playing the best. So I think that side, like the Sharks, just trampled over them, and their soft tries. I really don't know. Yeah, maybe the coach needs to be a bit harder and go, "No, you're not playing this week." I don't know. I just don't know. I'm just going to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think everyone wants to say, oh, it's Matt Feeney. Matt Feeney, it's all Matt Feeney's fault. Oh, I think that's fucking bullshit. Like it's like I watch all the tries, and there's the one where he stands there like a freaking statue, and old mate Jesse Ramian jumps over the top of him. That one's Matt Feeney's fault. Like he's got to compete for it. The ball's going to drop on his head. He's got to know that the winger's too far away to get to it, and he's got to fucking compete. Like that is bullshit. Like that's 100% Matt Feeney's fault. But the rest of them. Mate, the first one, Jaden Sullivan jammed in, and there's Matt Feeney, Taucho Mogo with 4 Sharks players. It's 4-on-2. Everyone says, "Oh, stay out on your winger." He stays out on his centre. Nico Hines goes straight through and go, "Oh, that's Matt Feeney's fault." Get stuffed. It was 4-on-2, and it was the same in every single other try. There was one where it's Matt Feeney's raced up past the ball. Yeah. So did Ben Hunt. So did Taucho Moga. They're all up past the ball. That's the reason why Britton Nakora went straight through and scored an easy try. Like there was another one where Jaden Sewer was just completely tackling no one, and they went straight through on his outside shoulder. And again, Matt Feeney's the one that gets all the blame. Like it's that entire left-hand side. Everyone on that side of the field made a freaking mistake. There was the other one where Taucho Moga was too far infield. Again, it was 4-on-2. So I don't know what you expect these guys to do in that situation, but they're just not numbering up. There was a great photo. I wish I had it to show on the screen. There was, I think it was on the Mad Dragons group, where there was one winger on the left-hand side and 6 Dragons defenders on that side of the field. No wonder they got fucking overlaps out there. Like, of course they're going to have an overlap when you've got 6 guys marking one winger that's never going to get the ball. What the hell are they doing? Like, this is under 10 stuff. It is tragically bad defense, and for me, it's a coaching issue. It's not an individual player. And I think all the targeted bloody stuff towards Matty Feeney is way over the top, because none of these situations are completely within his control. He's always got three or four guys coming at him with only, last week he had one guy standing outside him. 4-on-2 situations, you're not going to stop that from happening. I don't know how all the blame goes to one bloke. Like, surely the guys on the inside deserve some of the blame.
They're still stuck in Hook's defensive systems, and Carr still has not identified it. And it's going to take him time to change their defensive ways until Flano comes into this job next year, in November. Yeah,
well, it's a big job to try and fix that, and we've still got the same defensive coach that we had under Hook. Maybe Ben Wolf's not that good. And again, maybe that's a question that needs to start getting asked and moving him on. All right, Big T, Tommy Hazelton. It seems to be getting a bit of a cult following. He came off the bench for the Sharks and had a big impact, scoring a try right on halftime. They managed to isolate him. Big fella up one-on-one with Tyrell Sloan, and Sloan couldn't do enough to stop him. Do you feel that try, again, heading into the break, mentally broke the Dragons, or is it just a case where we're never good enough to really compete with the Sharks?
I thought we went well for the first 15 minutes. I thought that was pretty good. And then we led 6-0. Oh, my God. I think 24-10 at half-time, I thought we were still in it. I thought we still had a chance. And then scoring that Sloan try in the 50th minute, 24-16, I thought, well, here we go. We're back in. And that's where we were going from. We were going from about the 50th minute after we scored the Sloan try. And then they scored to make it, 55th minute. Ronaldo Mulatalo scored. yeah, they struck back. It just devastated us. And then I think that was the moment that our back was crushed.
Yeah. Yeah, it felt a little bit the same as the week before against the Warriors. I think we sort of scored a try early in the second half in that game, and it was just after they had the player sent in, we scored a try and thought, oh, here we go, we're up against
we're in
12
this,
men
we're
and
in
a
this.
chance. And same again in this game, we scored that remarkable try to Tyrell Sloan, and yeah, you think, well, that's got to give the whole team a boost. And,
I thought it did too. I thought it would have too,
but it didn't. Yeah.
but it didn't.
But it didn't. Jesse, the Tyrell Sloan try, not a lot of highlights from this game, but this was a ripper. Talk us through it.
Oh. So yeah, it happened off a kick. So a kick, and it was picked up by Ben Hunt. And then Ben Hunt just threw it to the nearest bloke next to him, and funnily enough, it was Tyrell Sloan. So Hunt got it to Sloan, who got away from Tom Hazelton, palmed off Teague Wilton, and then Blake Brayley, sidestepped Matt Moylan. Then the rest was history. As Big T said, to get us back within 24-16, I thought if we can get some momentum and come off the back of that, we find ourselves back into the game. But yeah, that was probably the highlight of the night to see Tyrell Sloan in full flight, because yeah, once he's in open space, there is no stopping him. But, yeah, probably one of the few highlights of the night.
Remarkable speed that he's got, and just his running action, like and again, I think it's a reason why he gets criticised a lot. Everyone's saying, "Oh, you're not trying," but even then, at full speed, like, it looked effortless. It looked like he wasn't trying, and he's just pulling away from them, leaving them in his dust. And it is a very, very graceful, long striding running style. It's beautiful to watch, and that's what you get with Tyrell Sloan, the ability for him to be able to create something from nothing, and that was a perfect example. Again, there was the diamond of letting it bounce. Like, as the fullback, he should have caught that on the full, but didn't it? He allowed it to bounce. Ben Hunt had to go back and clean it up, and sort of gave it to Sloan, but then Sloan busted through 4 tackles and sprinted away to score just a great try, one that will probably be one of the highlights of our season, let alone this weekend. Muzzer?
No one else scores those tries either, I don't think.
No. Muzzer?
Yeah, no, I was just going to comment on that, and you mentioned it, the fact that, yeah, the ball was let to bounce, and and Jesse touched on, and it's pretty much what we were just saying before, everybody sort of down on Ben Hunt. I think just from that comment, Jesse, no offense or anything, but it's just like, oh, Hunt just got the ball to short to the closest bloke to him. Yeah, it was a judgment pass. If he didn't pass that ball, he goes down with it. Then everybody bagging Sloan for not attacking the ball and taking it on the full. As it turned out, it went to Hunt. Hunt's give it up, and like you said, the rest is history.
Yeah, it's amazing how fickle the game is, isn't it, Muzz? Like, if that ball bounces and then it ends up in a Shark's hand and they score a try from it, it's nothing but criticism for Tyrell Sloan, and he's the worst player in the world and got to be dropped, and how can he ever play in the NRL again? All of a sudden it bounces and he ends up with it somehow and runs 100 metres and scores a try, and he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. So it's very, very, very fickle, but moments of brilliance. All right, we move in. We've only got one question from the fans pre-game, and Hasman, I'll give it to you, from James Jimmy Gray. He asks, has Tautau Moga earned a contract extension for next year?
For mine, he has. I mean, he wouldn't be first choice, obviously, but no, definitely for depth. Was just having a bit of a look at his figures earlier, actually, and he's actually scored in the 13 games he's played this season. He scored 13 tries, so he's scoring a try a game. So, I mean, that's how many of our backs can say that?
Is that across reserve grade and first grade?
No, that's NRL.
I didn't think he played that many NRL games this year.
He's only played 3.
Assuming the stats, or it might be including that as well, actually. But he's played 13 games this year. Possibly they're including New South Wales Cup in that. but he's scoring a try a game, regardless. So how many players can say that? And if you have a look at his stats from that Cronulla schmozzle, I mean, his tackling wasn't particularly good. He only made 3, missed 1. But I mean, I thought he was actually pretty solid. And we do tend to put a lot of crap on these sort of sometimes in, sometimes out sort of guys. But I'd definitely have him, even if it's just for depth. I mean, who else have we got that can come up at this point that could do a better job than what he's done?
No one's ready yet.
Well, when are they going to be ready?
Yeah, exactly
Yeah.
right. I mean, you look at the game over in New Zealand. The Souths put an 18-year-old winger out there that seemed to do pretty well. The
Tyrone Munro.
That's him. The Dragons, all their wingers that we're saying aren't ready. They're 21, 22. They're not 18. Like Alex Lobb's, I think 22. He's 22 years of age. Is he not ready at 22? When an 18-year-old
How old's Sione
is
Finau?
I think Sione's 19.
Tamale's 18, isn't he?
Kamali's 18, I think. He might be 19 himself, but yeah, again, it's people say that they're not ready, and it's like, well, how do you know?
You haven't given him a chance, yeah.
So, yeah, I think there's been a long history of the last sort of 5 or 6 years when we do put a young bloke in, he doesn't look like he's ready, and other teams they put a young bloke in and they are ready. So there's been something wrong with our development. Matty Elliott says that they've been working on fixing that and getting guys ready to play in the NRL. So everyone that's playing reserve grade, as far as I'm concerned, should be considered ready to step up and play first grade and at least have a crack. So
Just on that, Tautau Moga's actually got 6 tries and he's only played 3 NRL games this year. So that's what, more than 2 tries a game.
Yeah, I think he should be on the wing every week. He should be in our team every week, I think.
Yeah,
Well, he
with
wasn't
Warwick
playing on
Sully
the bloody-
returning this week, I'd put Moga on the wing and give Fino a spell in cup.
well, again, you're stealing questions from other people later in the in the VOD, but yeah, I'm sure that's definitely something we'll talk about once we get to changes for next week. All right, let's move into some lower grade stuff because that was quite frankly a little bit more positive. So I'll just turn the volume off because you guys probably don't want to hear the music, and we'll talk through the tries in this game in the Jersey Fleet first of all. So this is Jacob Webster. Just gets one-on-one here with the Sharks fullback and just powers straight over the top to score that try. Here's Webster again, goes close. It's a slow play, the ball. I don't know whether he copped some sort of knock in this tackle, gets a little bit of a push to the face that he didn't like too much there. But Declan Purcell throws this pass straight into the hole. Goes the Dragons to score that one. How's this for a boo-boo from the fullback? Bomb goes up, allowed to bounce. When it's allowed to bounce, it could go anywhere, and Brumble comes through and scores. This shift straight from a tap restart after a penalty. And look at this finish from T. Umuriki, Jeremiah Takere over in the corner. An absolutely great try. And then that pass there from Kyan Jolterson, an absolute ball terror. Benny Rumble gets his second try. He's been a revelation since going to fullback. His Lycan King Togia goes pretty close to scoring. And once again, they look to the one side, they come back to the short side, and a double there for Hamish Stewart to score and get them across the line. So a pretty good win for the Jersey Fleet side. Muzza, I'll go to you. The under-21 side, they started the season pretty poorly, but now with 3 wins in a row, including 2 in a row over top 5 teams, they're flying and now sit just outside the top 5 ourselves. Do you think it's important for the club to be doing well at these lower levels?
Yeah, well, I think it's important for all clubs for their lower grades to be doing well. I don't see a lot of the under 21s, unfortunately, the jerseys, but I try and watch the reserve grade when I can, either on my phone or when it's on KO. But yeah, look, every club needs their juniors to be coming through. The 21s, yeah, like a lot of those names that you just mentioned there, I sort of don't know a lot about them, Donny. So, but there was those we're just talking about the young fellas in reserve grades, certainly ready to come up and have a shot for sure. But and especially for us here, we need to be able to sort of look at these guys for the next 2 or 3 years, 4 years down the track, the ones that are coming through. We don't have a sort of a plan. Well, this 12-year rut's going to turn into a bloody 22-year rut. But we've got, looking forward, absolutely. It's good to see that the even the reserve grade side, who started off pretty poorly, getting a few wins together as well.
Yeah, no, it's one of my big gripes is the fact that it is so difficult. There's basically no way for anyone to be able to watch the Jersey flag competition, which does make it very difficult. I mean, I'm obviously over in Western Australia, so I sort of rely. I mean, a big thank you to Stephen Bates, who sent through the highlights of these games, because even getting highlights is proving more and more difficult. It seems that they don't put up the Jersey flag highlights very often on the New South Wales Rugby League website, and it's usually later in the week if they do put them up at all. But so it's hard to see any sort of footage from these games, and unless you're able to get to the games. And I know you're the same as me. It's not really a practical solution to be able to get to too many games from where you're based. But yeah, it's always a pleasure to be able to see these highlights and see some of the stats and stuff that come through from these young kids. And I know Matty Elliott, when we had him on our shows, said that winning Jersey flag premierships, SG ball premierships, not necessarily the aim of the club. They want to create quality NRL players. Sometimes when you do that, a byproduct is you do win these lower tier competitions. But they've sort of really messed around with this under 21 side, and there's been a host of changes since the SG ball season finished, and they've finally sort of settled on what they think their best side is for the rest of this year. Obviously, there'll be a couple of changes and stuff as they go through the season, but there's a lot more stability over the last few weeks, and I think that's really helped. All right. The other lower grade game that we had over the weekend was the New South Wales Cup. So once again, we'll just chuck this one up on the screen and have a look. For those that didn't get a chance to watch on the Newtown Jets Facebook page, but pretty simple backline shift to start the game. This is about a minute in. It goes from Herring across to Savelio Tamale, who carries 3 of them over the line. So a really powerful try there. Sione Finau, he's become an absolute specialist at grabbing the intercepts, and he's grabbed another one there to make it 12-0. I don't have the other tries from Josh Mansour in this footage, but here's the first of his 3 tries. He got 2 tries in junk time as well. It comes out now here for Junior Amone, and he finds Paul Turner, who crashes through a small hole to score. Some Billy Burns magic. I love this. How did he get that pass away out to Alex Lobb, who brings it around to dot down for the Dragons? Another short ball from Junior Amone. Billy Burns that time gets a try himself with some good footwork on the fullback. Some slow play there from Junior Amone, and then it comes out, and again, Turner flicks it inside to Zach Herring, who dives over as the Dragons really flexing their muscles. And here's a big shot from Nicholas Sagranis. Absolutely folds the Newtown Jets centre there, forces an error. So that's just a nice tackle that I liked and wanted to chuck that one in there. Alec Tuatavake, one of the recruits we got from Manly, was just too strong, wanted it more, 4 in the tackle and still gets the try. Burns, Billy Burns again, he can do anything. It grubbers through. Hayley Finau comes through and scores. So, yeah, pretty good effort there from the New South Wales Cup side to get the win. And absolutely smashing the previously top of the table Newtown Jets. Well, they were equal at the top of the ladder, but yeah, it was only for and against that kept them out of top spot before that win, and I think for and against is going to be a big issue for them for the rest of the year after that. Chloe, the as Muzzer kind of alluded to, that the New South Wales Cup side didn't start the season well, but now 6 wins from their last 8 and a thumping win over the equal top of the ladder Newtown side. Dan on Behind Enemy Lines on Tuesday said he thinks Newtown can win the comp. After that, could the Dragons win the New South Wales Cup?
I think so. I think they could, and winning against a top team like Newtown, I think, yeah, good on them. And sometimes it doesn't matter if you didn't win the first 2; it's the end of the season that matters. So yeah, keep it up, boys. I think you can, I've got you to win the comp if you can. Like if Newtown's like the Storm or the Panthers of New South Wales Cup, I think that they can win. The Dragons can win.
Yeah, as I kind of said earlier, the only issue is that if some of those New South Wales Cup players get called up into the NRL side, it might ruin our New South Wales Cup chances.
Well, what that guy that did the tackle? I don't know what his name was, but you just put it. Yeah, he could come up and do need a bit of mongrel in us.
Nick Sagranis, he's a bit of a favourite of mine, Nick. He's sort of come up. He's a St George junior. We don't get to see too many St George juniors. It's usually Illawarra Steelers juniors, but Nick's a St George boy, and yeah, he's playing his second year at Jersey Flag. He was still playing SG ball this year, so he's still qualifies for an under-19s competition. So, and you saw him when he put that shot on. He's a solid lad. Like he's already built up and physically looks very, very capable. So I'm hoping he can continue to develop. He came up with a couple of knock-ons in this game, I think. But other than that, his numbers absolutely showed that he deserves to be at this level. Muzzer, you chuck your hand up there, mate.
Yeah, just a quick one. What's the final setup in that jersey? Not jersey, in the reserves. Top 6 or 5?
Top 5, yeah. So the old top 5, mate. It's the best final system there is.
Unless we come a 6th.
Yeah, well, yeah,
top 5, right? Because what are we still 9th or something?
I think we're up to 7th now. Maybe I haven't actually checked the ladder, but I think that win brought us up to 7th. Yep. Stephen's actually saying it is top 6 in the New South Wales Cup. So there you go. So we'll go with that. Top 6. Got that one wrong.
Cheers, Batesy.
That doesn't happen often, but well, I don't admit it often anyway. All right, Big T. Some big numbers in this game. I just want to run you through some of them. Alex Lobb, 1 try, 7 from 8 with the boot, ran for 186 metres. Paul Turner scored a try, set up a try, had 9 tackle breaks, ran for 129 metres and a forced dropout. Junior Amone ran for 151 metres, had 2 try assists and a forced dropout. In the forwards, we had Zane Musgrove with 168 metres and 2 offloads. Billy Burns, 2 offloads, 2 try assists, ran for 148 metres. Alec Tuatavake played just 32 minutes, but ran for 164 metres, scored a try, 2 offloads, tackled at 100% efficiency. A lot of impressive performances, but which of them would you expect to be seeing an NRL field before the end of this season?
I'd like to see Alex Tuatavake get a go ahead of Jaden Hunt. He's a middle forward, isn't he, Alex?
Yes, he is.
Yeah. But they'll probably use him on the edge and bring him in for Ben Burnett or Masilla or something. You don't know what the Dragons are going to do. We really need to do something about that right-hand defence, that edge. Last week it was Moga and Fenai. We've got to do something out there to tighten up that defence out there. Yeah, Moga on the wing, bring a centre in. I don't know who you bring in. I don't get to watch much lower grades. You say Alex Lobb ran well. Does he play wing?
He's a winger, yeah.
Yeah, a bit younger to come into the centres. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Alex Tuatavake, I'd like to see get a go. And a couple of one of the other Couchman boy, I'd like to see him get a go. But other than that, yeah, I wouldn't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to see most of those guys getting a crack. I cannot work out what Zane Musgrove has done wrong. I think every time he's played in the top grade, he's gone pretty well. And again, he goes back to reserve grade, plays well. Like he doesn't drop his bottom lip and kick stones.
No.
He goes back there and played really well. He looked constantly dangerous, always looking to get that offload away. And
is it because they like him and Billy Burns? You know, like they bring him up for one game. They don't do a lot, but they do what they need to do, and then they get dropped again. Do you think those players need to be in the top grade 4 or 5 games in a row, regardless of how they play week in, week out?
Well, again, I think you give you give some of these blokes a chance to perform, 3, 4, 5, 6 games in a row, and if they're not having an impact and not playing that well after that, I don't, as I say, I don't think it's saying Musgrove's ever done anything wrong in the top grade. When he's been given a chance, he comes on, he does his job, and
he plays limited minutes and does what he has to do. That's all it is.
I just wonder what some of the other, I wonder what a guy like Ben Murdoch-Masilla is actually doing to keep his spot.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows?
Yeah. Jesse, you chucked your hand up there, mate. Did you have something to add?
Well, yeah, we'll actually get a closer look on it. Big T, Coco, and you're heading to the game on Friday. They're actually the curtain raisers for NRL. So,
okay,
actually,
I can't get up there. Can't get up there on Friday. No.
But yeah, it'd be good to see they're playing at Wynn Stadium on Friday. I don't think they've played too many games for the NRL side in Wollongong this year. So, yeah, it should be good to see how they go and close up. And I'll go in early and see how they go and have a good look.
You can do the weekly report.
They're playing the Raiders as well. So,
nice.
Raiders are running 5th, so won't be an easy game either.
Yeah, well, that's a big one because we want to try and get up there and boost our.
We have to beat them.
Yeah, it's a huge game.
Yeah.
All right, I'll stay with you, Jesse. The NRLW of they're looking like they're going to have a trial game on Friday night. We don't know too much about it, but up against Parramatta. Should be some interesting matchups if both teams are full strength in the contest against Para.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to. I think I'm looking forward to the combination of Racing McGregor and Tyler Nathan Wong. I've heard many people saying that too. Tegan Berry, I think she should get a first crack at fullback, see how she handles it, and also a lot of these new players that haven't had a lot of experience in this NRLW level before, so it's going to be a big step up for them. There are quite a few good players at Parramatta Eels. Obviously, Hasman's favourite player, Rachel Pearson, pulling on the blue and gold jumper this year. Elsie Albert's another one that's joined Parramatta.
Does Hasman have any favourite players that actually still play for the Dragons? Why are you even still here, Hasman? You just all your favourite players have left.
Every time I announce a bloody favourite player, they bloody piss off to another team. So I think maybe I'll change my mind about who do I really want from the NRL side to piss off? Maybe if I go say Matt Vinay or
what about Billy Burns?
I want to keep him. Just like Muz's profile. Yeah.
Hey, you leave me out of this.
Might change the profile pic to Fine for next week.
But no, yeah, there's some good players at Parramatta. Obviously, Kennedy Charrington from over there in WA as well, Donny. She's become one of the premier forwards in the NRLW competition. Played in the World Cup last year. Recently played for New South Wales in Origin. Yeah, it's going to be a big test, and actually they do have Chantel Sales, another one that's joined. She played for the Dragons last year. Talisha O'Neill, or she was known as Talisha Quinn. She was part of the Dragons inaugural side back in 2018. So there are a few former Dragons in that side. A lot of the other Eels players are relatively new to the scene. So yeah, just like us. So it's not a lot I do know at this stage about the trial. But I do know that it's not going to be at Wynn Stadium. I just haven't got any details of it yet.
Well, Stephen Bates has said Friday 7 p.m. in Granville. So I'm not sure exactly what ground in Granville, but that's the word that it's going to be in Western Sydney, so a bit closer to Parramatta than our home grounds. But yeah, still an opportunity if you're in that area to get out and have a look.
Yeah,
And I want-
Jess, can I just ask, Mark, is it Margot Villa, the Maltese girl that's playing for the Dragons?
That's right. Yeah, she's an outside
Yeah.
back.
Pardon?
She's an outside back.
She looks like she's going to be a good player. Do you know much about her?
I haven't heard a lot of her. Jamie Stout said though she's happy to have him. I think she's played a little bit of league in the past, but she's obviously coming from Super Rugby. She's been playing for the Waratahs in the women's rugby competition. Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of her highlights, but I think
Mate,
she's
she
going to be.
she looks like a machine. She looks like she's going to play well, I think.
Yeah, I
So
think
she's one of my favourites. Don't go anywhere.
I think she's a winger fullback. So
Nice.
see where she goes in the team.
Hopefully
But
she
top-
gets an opportunity. But Eric Tweedle Park in Granville is apparently where the trial game is going to be played on Friday night. So yeah, as I said, if you're in the area, an opportunity to get down and see the girls in their new kit too, Jesse.
Yes, this is the new kit I've got on my background. I'll disappear for a sec. So it's obviously we got our new captain, Racine McGregor there, Keely Brown, also Cortez Tapo. So that's our new NRLW kit for the 2023 season. We even had Tara McGrath West, our young front row, actually made a statement about the jersey today. I'll just bring that up. Just bear with me for a minute. So what she said, I love the fitting. Even the shorts are so much more comfortable compared to last year. Having a female fit is just amazing. That was from Tara McGrath West. And
Well, the Dragons have actually they put a fair bit of effort into it, actually designing the jerseys and all that sort of stuff. They've got the players involved to try and because previously they just wore exactly the same as the men, but just smaller sizes. And yeah, they've gone this year and they've designed kit that's specific to the female form and it's going to be more comfortable for them to play in. So you know, it's great work for the Dragons getting on the front foot and showing a bit of innovation and a bit of investment into this this important space.
I like the red shorts.
definitely.
The shorts are actually red; they're not white. So I like the colours going together.
And just give me a sec. I'll bring up the they've also got new training gear as well.
So Rob
Look-
Saguna wants to know if that's your private security team in the background.
Yeah, it is, Rob. Yep, definitely.
No one's messing with Jesse. These girls are looking after you.
And I'll just bring up the new training gear as well. Take a look at that. How good is that? So you can see the bright yellow dragon on the bottom of Tegan Berry, Tyler Nathan-Long, and Racine McGregor. Apparently they're a part of our leadership group that we've formed as well. Yeah, and a lot of these girls are obviously looking forward to playing alongside Racine.
I don't know that I like the yellow, to be honest, mate. It's they look like a Western Australian team, yellow and black. But
Anyone want to comment about the new gear as well?
Yeah, I like them. I like that jersey. It's a training shirt. I like it.
Yeah. So
adding another
Yeah.
colour to our colours.
and
Not really.
once we should have details of the team list too in the coming days. Once we do have it up, I'll even if it's up by Tuesday for our show, I'll send it through to you, Donnie. We can go through it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. All right, moving now into some forced and unforced changes. Hasman, our first one up is Jaden Hunt. Got picked up a concussion in the New South Wales Cup game. Looks like he might miss the game against the Raiders. I'm not sure whether it was a Category 1, but he did fail the HIA. So do you think he might have been struggling to keep his spot anyway, or do you think this is something that's going to force a change for the Dragons?
I question whether he would have played this week anyway, to be honest. From what we've seen of him, which admittedly hasn't been much, he hasn't really sort of done much to make me think that he's sort of first grade standard. But no, I reckon I mean, Ryan Carr seems to have this, in out sort of, system with this sort of fringe players. So I reckon he probably would have dropped out this week anyway.
Yeah, I think highly possible. And with the concussion, they probably won't take any chances with him, and he probably misses a spot in any case. But
Well, category one,
I'm not sure if it was a
7 days
category one. I know. It's. I don't know if it was categorised as a cat one. I know he failed the HIA test on game day, but yeah, I don't know how they categorise them, to be honest, mate. They toss a coin and heads category one, tails category two, and yeah, he didn't look in the best of shape. So I'm assuming it was category one, and he was mandatory 11 days, but which, yeah, that definitely rules him out. But I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure that it was category one. Muzzer, are you still there, mate? No, Muzzer. He doesn't like this next question, so he's hiding from me. All right, we'll skip Muzzer's question, and missing in action for a minute, he says. All right, Chloe, I'll go to you. No one else on the panel actually wants this question, so you're the lucky duck that gets it. Everyone's sick of talking about Ben Murdoch-Masila. Played 80 minutes and had just 5 runs for 39 metres. To put that in perspective, Toby Couchman played just 32 minutes and ran for 62 metres and made almost as many tackles as Big Ben in that time as well. How can we possibly keep picking him?
I don't mind questions. I just need time to research. Now with Ben, I thought, like I wanted him to be a bit of mongrel in him, aggression. And I haven't seen that. Even the meters, like you said, like the young guy, Toby, can run more and be on the field less. So, yeah, I don't know why the coach keeps picking him. Like maybe, but is there anyone else suitable for that role? Is like, I just want, I miss like the Michael Wayman that we used to have. See, he was like the horse that would go for it, like, there's no mongrel in our team that will get like good. Well, Blake Laurie did. He actually hurt someone's ribs, I heard, from that first kickoff. So, yeah, but I think Toby should stay on. Hopefully, his brother could come too. And they can, and Ben, I don't know where Ben can go, but maybe they could have a run together. Because they make good meters, I have seen together.
Yeah, Stephen Bates just actually raised a really interesting point as well that I noticed during the New South Wales Cup game as well. So you mentioned Ryan Couchman, Toby's brother. Yep. He got shifted out and he played on the edge on the weekend. So my first thought was, well, maybe this is an instruction from the NRL coaching staff. They want to see him, playing more time on the edge to maybe. Yeah, with a view to trying to fix that issue, because that second edge forward to support Jaden Sewer has been really problematic, and we really haven't been able to find a solution there. I've been obviously a big advocate of getting Billy Burns into that role and giving him a bit more time to actually spend in that position. He's a specialist edge forward that I think you give him half a dozen games in a row there, and he's going to come up with the odd error or two, but I think he's going to do better than Ben Murdoch-Masila in terms of work rate and effort and lateral movement and all that sort of stuff. But a young guy like Ryan Couchman, who both the Couchman brothers say they prefer playing on the edges, so it's nice to see them actually getting an opportunity and to play there, and hopefully they can hopefully they can come through and maybe get a go in the top grade in that spot. Muzzer's still not back, so I'll go to you, Big T. No Ben Hunt for this game against the Raiders, and he's again on Origin duty. Are you expecting Carr to go with the Amone Sullivan combo in the halves, or does he have a surprise up his sleeve?
I think it'll be Amone Sullivan. We got Herring, we got Mbai, Bird if he's available. With Sullivan at 7, any one of those. But I think it'll be Amone at 6 and Mbai at 14.
Yeah, I think that's the most likely way to go.
I can't see Herring coming up. to play 5'8", because Herring and Rene was last week, wasn't it, in the reserves?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
they were the two halves, but Junior was definitely the dominant half.
Yeah, and the only other way we could go was with Bird. He's played
Paul
5'8"
Turner?
before, but whether he's injured or not, I don't know. But if he's in or not, he might go there. I wouldn't mind seeing Bird go at 14. Give him a go at 14, leave him in the side, but put him at 14.
Yeah, well, that's actually the next question, Chloe.
Oh,
Jack.
sorry.
Well, no, it was sort of about Jack Bird because is Chloe still there? Or has she dropped off?
It's back.
Oh, there she is.
I'm
yeah.
here. Sorry. Hello.
No, I was just looking through you across the top. But Jack Bird, are you expecting to see his name on the team list for Tuesday? He's obviously missed this weekend and still got that knee complaint. Do you think he's actually going to be back this week, or do you think he's going to be out for a bit longer?
I don't know with Jack. I feel like with him, I like with Ben, like when he was playing against the Warriors, he wasn't feeling. There's no oomph, and maybe he might be the 14, but it's so hard with him. I know his knees are giving him grief at the moment, but we need people. We need speed in our team and to run the line. Like sometimes his silly errors and his frustration gets the better of him on the field as well. But who knows? Maybe what Big T said, maybe 14, where he can, if someone needs to come off, he can go on for 20 minutes. But I know it just doesn't look very good for him if he's not on the field for more than 20, 25 minutes. Anyone else?
Yeah, I don't think Jack Bird will play this weekend. I don't think he'll be named. I think that knee issue is more serious than the club are letting on. Talking about knee issues, though, apparently Viliami Fafita, our other recruit from Manly, is going in for knee surgery, so no date on his return. So not sure if that's if he's done an ACL at training or something along those lines, but hopefully it's less serious than that and just a bit of a clean out. But yeah, it's a bit of a shame to see him. Young bloke's just got to the club and now out with knee surgery. Not sure when he's going to be back. So I know there's a lot of people that have been asking a few questions about Viliami Fafita, but it seems like he might be out for an extended period. Jesse?
I just want to touch on the Jack Bird. You said he's got knee problems. I personally, I wouldn't bring him back into the top grade or any kind of football until his knees are 100% right, because we can't have a passenger defending out there. It's already a bad defensive line, as we've had all season pretty much. We can't afford to have him not running at full flight or doing any defensive work there until he's actually 100%, and we can't have any passengers out there. It's not specifically just for this Raiders game, but any games coming forward as well.
Yeah. All right. I might go back to Muz's question and give it to Big T. So this one hasn't been sent through to you before, Big T, but Moses Sully should be back this weekend to take on the Raiders. Is it a straight swap with Moga back out and Sully back in, or are you looking at maybe another player that might miss out?
Well, again, we're back Freeney bashing at the moment. I put Moga on the Freeney wing and bring Sully inside him. So I think they'll go well together, Sully and Moga. If Moga, what are you got to find? You need to get suspended.
No, just got to find.
Got to find, yeah. So I'd leave Moga in the side and just.
Would it be that? Would that be even slower than the Sully Feeney combination? We reducing your speed even further there?
We probably are, but what else can we do?
Well, Moga's a better defender than Feeney.
I think he is. He knows how to stay out his wing, not like our two wings at the moment.
Moga on the wing on the weekend got caught out for speed, and that Will Kennedy try, he was a long way infield, so he still doesn't stay out on his wing.
Yeah, what else are we supposed to do? We've got those players and we've got to use them. I think Matt needs a little rest, maybe a week off, like they did to Lomax, give him a week off, give him a week in reserve grade, and then bring him back.
I'd prefer somebody else other than Moga, just quietly. He's not part of our future. We're not doing anything other than trying to avoid the wooden spoon.
Yeah.
I'd be moving on from Tao Moga. I don't think he's.
Like we said before, give Lob a go out there.
Yeah.
Or what's Shani Finau? Give him a run.
I'd agree with that. I wouldn't mind either of those two options.
Yeah.
If you want to give Matty Finau a rest, then yeah, I think that's not a bad option to bring in one of those young
do you agree
blokes.
that Finau might need a rest? He might need
Yes,
a bit of refreshing up.
it's been happening for a number of weeks. I think these poor performance.
Yeah, I think I'd love to see Sione Finau get a chance. I think he's been playing really good footy the last month or so in the lower grades, and it'd be good to give him a chance. I disagree with most people. I don't think Matt Finau is going as badly as everyone says. I think he gets the blame for some of the poor work on his inside, which leaves him with 3-on-1, 2-on-1 situations again and again, and he's the one that cops all the blame. There's got to be somebody that's not doing their job inside if he's faced with 2-on-1s all the time. But so I don't think he's going as badly as most people seem to think. But
yeah, I'll give him a couple of weeks off, give him a rest, give him a freshen up, and then bring him back.
Might help him to go down and learn this new defensive system they're using in reserve grade that's actually working better than what we're doing up in the top grade. Jesse?
Well, I don't know if you're going to say anything about it soon, but what's everyone made of this Lomax news in the last 24 hours?
Yeah, well, that's definitely on the agenda, mate. That's in
We'll
the
get
news,
there.
that's in the news section. But we move into that news section now, Jesse, and that is actually that exact question that I actually sent you this question. I actually sent you through the question.
Yes, I remember that. I was a long way away when you. Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know why I bother doing an agenda sometimes. But,
He's trying to steal your thunder, Donny. Thunder.
he's like,
No,
I want to
couldn't do
move
that.
on and I'll talk about something different. Don't care about Tao Moga and Matt Finau anymore. I don't know whether that's my Jesse impersonation or my Buzz Rothfield impersonation. Buzz Rothfield runs a story that the Dragons have told Zach Lomax that he's free to leave if he can find another club to take over his $800,000 per year contract. Within hours of this story coming out, Shane Flanagan comes out and says that it is utter horseshit and Zach Lomax is going nowhere. Then the Mole, he comes out, doubles down, says he knows for a fact that Zach Lomax has been offered to rival clubs and that Shane Flanagan is a liar. Journalists that have been regularly proven to be wrong and have told thousands of lies, and Shane Flanagan, who, let's face it, doesn't have the best relationship with the truth in his career. Jesse, which one of these do you think you're more likely to believe?
I would believe Flano. Yes, Buzz got it right about Ben Hunt, but a few weeks ago. But I think Flanagan is right about Lomax. Like on Lomax's current form, he hasn't been in form for a couple of years now. Do you think any other club would take him on $800,000? Do you?
No.
No, I don't think so either.
Not at 800,000. I still think he's.
Is he even on 800?
Well, exactly. How do we know that? How do we know that's not Buzz has just made up a number? He's plucked it out of the sky. 800.
Flipped his coin.
And he's here till he's signed till 2026, so he's got 3 years left on the contract. I can't see him going anywhere. I mean, I think if Flanagan can get the best out of him, we will start talking about him as pushing for those Origin jerseys like he did earlier in his career when
I actually think he's been pretty good since he got moved back to his proper side. Like I know he wasn't going real well at the start of the year when he was switched to the other side of the field by Hook, but since he's gone back to his right side, he's tackling at like 94, 95% efficiency. Like he's back straight away to being one of the best I would say the best defensive centre in the entire comp. I don't know that there's a better defensive centre than Zach Lomax. Like some of the tackles that he made on the weekend, one-on-one situations. He made a great tackle on Teague Wilton. He made another couple of tackles on Who was the centre where he was up against Talakai?
He was in that Sloan tackle with
Yeah, so he's
With
involved in tries. Like he was probably
Mortala, yeah.
he was the reason why that try didn't get scored. Like
Yeah, exactly,
if
yeah.
he didn't come in, make that effort to get in there, like they would have scored that try. He would have
You
got
see
that
why I
ball
gave
down.
him 2 points now?
Yeah, I don't. Well, I didn't have him for the 2 points. I had Sloan, but I don't think he's playing that badly. I think he's been one of our better players week in, week out since he's been moved back to his right side. But yeah,
He's not doing a whole lot in attack though. Like
well,
he used to.
not
Like,
neither does anybody else.
yeah, like if you get him some early ball and get him these footwork that we know he can do. Even he's great
think
under
that-
the high ball. Like
Again, I think that comes down to coaching as well. Like we're not getting early balls to our damaging centres. Moses Sully's done absolutely nothing this season. Nothing at all. Nothing anywhere near what he did last year. I think Lomax has been better than Sully this year.
well, that's not saying a whole lot. Yes, Sully
Well-
hasn't been a destructive best. No,
I thought Moses
He's hardly
Sully was
touched the
close to
ball.
state of origin last year, but this year neither of our centres have got any ball.
Yeah.
So again, I don't know that the coaching team are utilising the weapons they have at their disposal. But yeah, I don't think he's been that bad. I think I don't think that he's on 800,000 to begin with. But if he is, I don't see anybody else taking him. I think the story's got absolutely no legs. It's Buzz and Molly covering for each other and talking out their ass when the coach that actually is the bloke that supposedly told him he can look elsewhere says that never happened. Then you've got to take him at his word, I think.
well, as Coco said, once we're down the bottom, any reporter in the media is going to drag us through the mud. Anything they can find about the Dragons, I'll just drag us through the mud.
Exactly.
Dragons bashing.
Yeah. Like, what about today? Like, the Bulldogs got thrashed today, hammered. I bet there'll be a news article about them going, "Oh, this guy wants out. Odo Carr wants to go back to Melbourne." You know, that's what they
Burton,
love.
yeah,
It's clickbait.
Well, they won't do
clickbait.
that because they're too sketchy out of bloody Gus.
they want the money.
Well,
I know.
Gus is the media mafia guy, isn't
Mate,
he?
dragons sell papers, mate.
Yeah,
Any story
Yeah.
about a dragon sells papers.
I know.
And that's all
But
they
yeah.
want.
Yep.
Yeah,
It
what
says
about the
clickbait.
All
Tigers
that-
getting done by
74.
74 points? How much are we going to bloody hear about that?
Did
Yeah.
anyone see the Channel 9
Any
photo
pressure on
released?
Tim Sheens and Benji Marshall and Benji Ball, it's dead.
Well, I read that today that they're going to fast track Benji's coaching to next year.
I thought it was next year.
25
it kind of seems
originally.
like he's doing all the coaching at the moment anyway. I barely see Tim Sheens' face on the coverage. He's sort of
Oh,
sitting there
Benji's
not
always
doing
got the hat on. Benji's always got the headphones on.
Yeah. And he
Maybe
goes,
Tim Sheens is
James
just-
Jimmy
yeah.
Gray on Zach Lomax says playing better, but still well short of what he can do. And I'd agree with that.
I think he's slightly injured myself, even from the start of the year. I think
You have been saying that all year.
I think he's got a niggling hip injury. And that's why his kicking's been off as well.
I think Flano can get the best out of him if you can just sit him down and see what's up. And
But he's kicked like
Even
10 from
gets-
his last 12, hasn't he, Big T? His kicking hasn't been too
Oh
bad.
no, I'm not saying that but it has affected his kicking in the past.
Yeah, maybe.
He had those 2 weeks off and came back, and he hasn't been too bad since then. So maybe those 2 weeks gave him a chance to get it sort of right.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'd agree with what JJG said, and in terms of I think Zach Lomax's potential is just about limitless. I think he can be the best centre in the world. I think that's how good Zach Lomax could be if he's utilised correctly. And I think having Shane Flanagan come in, who's a quality coach,
I think
I think you'll get the best out of him.
I think he could be a Gasnier with the Cooper strength.
Yeah,
people
Matt
still
Cooper's
forget he's only
strength, you know.
23.
That's right. Yeah, he's only 23. Like he reminds me so much of Mark Gasnier.
Yeah.
He's got the shimmy, he's got the whoosh, but he's got the strength that Matt Cooper used to have.
No
The
one will get
defensive-
past Matt Cooper.
Defensive strength that Matt Cooper used to have. And I'd like to see Matt Cooper get a hold of him mould him into the strength that Makupa had.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to see Mark Gasnier get a hold of him, and
Oh, true, yeah.
I think his
Do the shimmy.
defensive side of his game has actually been really good, but
Yeah.
I think he's got more to offer in attack, and we haven't really seen the best of him in attack, and that's what most people notice. Yeah, most people notice what he does in attack, and that's why I'm a big defensive kind of person. I tend to notice more than most people when it comes to the defensive side of the ball, and I think he's absolutely wonderful defensively.
And Rob's just said Lomax is a lot better now. Hook's gone. That's because he moved him back to the right side.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like
that happened the week after Hook left.
Simple.
Well,
All right,
we've-
Hasman, David Fafita and Tino for
Malawi.
Come on, Big T, help him out. Help him out.
I'd take Tino or Isaac. Doesn't bother me.
It's like T-ball, mate. I just lay it there and you just knock it out of the park.
Malawi. I love that name. I want him there.
Fasua Malaawi.
Pastor Mala'au.
Both apparently have get-out clauses in their contract tied to Justin Holbrook. If you could only sign one of them, which one would you sign?
Without a doubt, Tino Fasul Malawi, just so we can say Fasul Malawi every fucking week.
Every week.
Every week.
Every week in the Mad Dragons podcast Player of the Year voting, Big Tino gets votes again.
Yeah, no,
Every week.
we need some big boppers, and you know he is certainly that at 6'6", 607 kilos. I mean that's the biggest one of the biggest bloody forwards I've seen, and I mean for Fafita's a second rower, but I'd like to see Billy Burns sort of come good in that role. Whether he will or not under Flano remains to be seen. But if anyone can get the best out of him, it's Flano. No, I'd go Big Tino every day of the week and twice on whatever day of the week we happen to be playing.
Jesse?
I'd take them both. I'd take David, obviously, because
Of course you bloody take
the
them
question
both,
was,
but
you've only got you can only pick one of them. Which one do you pick?
I'd take
if you
David.
can only pick one.
I'd take David. Then we can get his girlfriend back too.
He's
No,
got
she
an
was-
ulterior motive.
No,
You're
she's
gonna
not-
you're gonna steal David Fafita's girl, are you?
no, I mean she was one of the better second. She's one of the best second rows in the game, Shirley, man.
Oh, that's why you want it back.
Yeah.
Okay.
To have them both.
Everyone believes that.
Great package. Package deal.
Two great second rowers.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'd go for Fafita too, because I still can't say Tino's name properly.
Pasua Mala'awi.
Exactly. You're jumping up and down. Go.
Well, actually,
Damn it.
You know,
I can't say it.
Michael Ennis.
Big T.
Michael Ennis says Far Arstu Malawi. Because he's got those two A's at the start and the hyphen. So
Yeah, the apostrophe in the middle.
they do, that's right.
And he said Isaac Pasua Mala'awi, didn't he?
Yeah, Far Arstu Malawi.
I don't know whether we're
Well,
taking
I've done my
enunciation
research.
lessons
I've
from
done my
Michael Ennis,
research.
though, are we?
I've done my research and it's Fasul Malawi.
I wouldn't be taking too many enunciation lessons from Michael Ennis.
Nah. Papa Leahy changed his name.
Well, he
Su'ali'i.
He didn't change it. He just told people how it was supposed to be pronounced.
Papa Leahy with his little hyphen in there, his little
Apostrophe.
apostrophe. Yeah. I'm old. I can't remember.
All right, so I suppose still talking about Fafita and Fasul Mala'awi. Muzza, assume that between the two of them, there's let's say round numbers, $2 million a year for those two players. Hunt on 950. We get rid of Ben Hunt at 950. Where you're finding the remaining 1,050,000 from?
Yeah, I've had a little bit of a think about this. Now, I'm not an accountant or anything, so it's made it a bit hard. Look, we'd obviously have to offload, 2 or 3 players to be able to afford both of them. Again, we're all talking hypothetically, and it's probably a fucking 1,000 to 1 chance of it even happening. let's be honest. But yeah, look, we'd be getting rid of a couple of, I don't know, you know, Jack Bird, but you know, we've got the Flano relationship there. I'm not sure how much, you know, money the BMMs and these boys are on, but Jack Bird obviously is probably up there. You know, they're talking about, we've just spoken about the Zach Lomax thing, but that's not happening, thankfully, because, you know, I really do think he's a big part of the club moving forward. Yeah, that's what we'd have to do, and then obviously rely on those guys that we're watching in the reserve grade and the 21s coming up, and you know, being there for the backup. But yeah, look, we're not going to get both of them. We'd be flat out getting one of them, to be honest. Though, and Tino Fawasuamo Ali would be my choice. Sorry, Tino, I butchered that, mate. Sorry.
No, you did all right, mate. You did much better than most of the professional commentators did when he first came into top grade. That's for sure. Though no one had any idea how to say it, but yeah, we sort of got a few lessons over the years, and I think you were pretty close, mate, to be honest. But yeah, I think it's gonna be tough if we want to honestly get both of them. But just looking at the guys that are off contract, a guy like Moses Mbai, Terrell Formilano, and these kind of players, we've got about 5 players off contract. You know, we've got about 5 spaces that we've got to fill, and I reckon again, this is plucking numbers from the sky. We've got about 1.5 million to work with. Now, if you sort of chuck in Ben Hunt, there's around about 2.5 million. So already, without having to do too much, we've almost got we've pretty much got enough to get these blokes. So yeah, Big T's got to leave. So see you, mate.
Thanks for the night. I'll see you Tuesday.
Okay. Well, we're basically just about to wrap up. In any case, we did have just one more thing that I wanted to do, and we've actually got a bit of a special announcement for something that is to come on the show in the not too distant future.
How exciting! What is it?
So for those that have stuck around on the live stream, you will be the first to know about this. We have a special guest coming up on Tuesday, the 11th of July, none other than the Dragons NRLW coach and, of course, 2010 Premiership winner, absolute legend in Jamie Soward. So we're going to have him on the show. It'll be pre-recorded on that Tuesday morning, but we'll be showing all of you guys that interview on the Tuesday night edition. That is the week that we've got the bye round as well. So they're looking forward to having a chat with Sowie about obviously the upcoming NRLW season, but we'll definitely delve into his career and all that sort of stuff as well. So really looking forward to bringing that to you, and yeah, hope you can all join us for it. But yeah, that's a good one. Chloe, you seem pretty excited about that.
I am. I love him. He, he got so much shit on during 2010, and then when we won, it was sucked in to the haters. I really love him. And then when he left, I was devastated. I was like, no, not him leaving. And
Bloody
then,
Steve Price.
I know. Yeah, fuck you, Steve Price. You bloody nugget. Yeah, and then
What else how you feel if we brought Steve Price back as an assistant coach?
Oh God, help us all. Oh, when some people can't like me, I can't run or be creative. I can sing. I'd be one of those people. I'll be like, nah, get out. Just get out of this joint.
We will have another guest in the coming weeks too, Don. You will.
We'll announce someone in
stop ruining all the surprises, Jesse.
I didn't reveal who it is. Didn't reveal who it is.
Yeah, we do have another one the week after that, but yeah, we'll announce that one maybe on Tuesday's show. We won't talk about that. But yeah, once again, I'd like to thank everyone that has tuned in for tonight's show. We'll be back on Tuesday to preview, well, another local derby of sorts up against the Raiders. I suggest that there's going to be, once again, plenty to talk about in the Team List Tuesday edition. there's a few things that we're not so sure exactly how they're going to line up, and obviously, yeah, no Ben Hunt. Muzzer, you got your hand up there, mate.
Oh yeah, g'day, Donny, g'day team, Billy Burns here. Just want to thank you and the team there for all your support this year. It's been hard, mate, but with all your support, I'm back on track now, smashing it in reserve grade as you've seen. And I had a chat with Kari on the weekend. I'll be back in a couple of weeks.
Oh, fantastic! Thank you, Billy. Very, very good. Yeah, that's good stuff. Good stuff, Billy. Thanks for joining us very briefly. Nice little cameo there at the end. And you were ventriloquist, mate. I didn't see your lips moving, but good job. We'll sign off there. Thanks very much to everyone for joining us tonight, and we'll be back on Tuesday. Come on, Dragons fans. Fire up!
Fire up!
Fire up.
Fire up.